I'm seeking exposure to and understanding of West African traditional spiritual practices. Any specific guidance or suggested reading, planning to get to Ghana this year? Yeah, relax. Take your time. Refine your intuition and just listen, because a lot of what you need, it's hard for me to convey it to you because it's not my destiny. You know what I'm saying? What is important for you, ancestrally, you're being left clues. You know what I'm saying? To be able to find that. And it's hard for me to convey that to you without imposing my personal journey. I can share stuff with you for sure. Are there books? It's all kind of books. More books than I could tell you right now. If you inbox me, and anybody else, you can inbox me too. I can just take a picture of my personal library, and then you can, I can give you a little background on certain titles. But I kind of do that for people, because there's a lot of good books, and then there's a lot of not so good things. Africa Olushola, my sister, beautiful. You see what I'm saying? That was a great question. Really great question. But yeah, go to events where people are really teaching, and make sure people have good character, ask a lot of questions, and relax. Don't let nobody scare you into no stuff, because nothing's higher than your Ori, and nothing's higher, your Ori, your head, your destiny, your intuition, and nothing's higher than your ancestors. And you don't need to go outside of yourself for that. You feel me? Sankofa. Yeah. You come to Sankofa conference. That's a good place to start, Tiffany. Sankofa conference. It's the first weekend in April in DC. That's a good place to start. Baba Fade. How are you? But yeah, anybody got any more questions? I'm just chilling, hanging. Hadn't talked to y'all in a while. Ancobia.org. It's a good place to start, Tiffany. You can inbox me too. I can give you a lot of information. And anybody else who wants any. How much Muslim influence is in West Africa today? Anybody who's been to West Africa is probably laughing at that shit right along with me. Man. How much Muslim influence is in West Africa today? A lot. You know how there's nothing in West Africa but mosques and churches. I promise. And it's like the Muslim people got like early morning on lock, like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. They be getting it. They be at prayer. It's actually beautiful. There's certain things about Islam that I like. That's appealing to me because I'm just a very spiritual person. So it's, there's some things that I do like and some things I'm like, but it's not my culture. I've had some very interesting experiences. I've stayed in Muslim homes when I've been in Nigeria, and it was a very peaceful, wonderful experience to kind of see it inside of a home. I'm all for it. I'm all for people just being, what's my Odu? Ogunda Masa. All damn day. Listen, Christians and Muslims got West Africa on lock. Mm-hmm. 5 o'clock in the morning, man. They'll do the morning prayer. They will do their morning prayers. You'll see it. Go to the mosque. And it's, I actually like to hear the singing coming out of the mosque. Like when, I don't know what it's called, when the the imams and everything be chanting and stuff. You know what I'm saying? My sister, Dr. Funlayo Wood means Abu Aboye. Good to see you, sis. Good to see you, sis. I shouted you out on my podcast too, girl. I forgot to put your married name on there. Don't, please, charge it to my head and not my heart. I was talking fast. And I said, my homegirl, Dr. Funlayo Wood, I was talking about our project. So I didn't say would, Menzies. I'm sorry. Tell Elle to forgive me, please. I beg her. Please. Epeleo. Sorry. Oh man. Hashtag AMA ask me anything. Y'all been asking me some dope questions. These questions are so dope, I may actually put this video up on YouTube. It's called Adan. Thank you. I didn't know that. Adan. Thank you. Called the Adan. See? This is why you got to have theologians on your squad to tell you what things are. Do the tribes segregate themselves, or are they all one people? It's kind of, well, we got to be careful with the word tribes too. I mean, these were nation states. You know, tribes kind of trivializes it a little bit. You know, these are nation states with ancient histories and ancient peoples with complex movements over time. You know, and we got to respect that. I mean, it depends. I mean, during the World Cup, people are pretty unified in African countries, right? So in that way, there's a lot of political and religious delineations as well. There's language delineations as well. So in some ways it is segregated. And in some ways it's, you know, it's not. To us, it may seem unified because everybody's kind of speaking the same language, but we don't have just a well enough understanding of like dialect. It's almost like, you know, if you from like Cali, Oakland, you know that Oakland accent. And listening to somebody from like Geechee, South Carolina, everybody's speaking English, but it's like different. So it's kind of like that. You know what I mean? There's very, you know, you got Oyo people, and, you know, Oyo, they're the people that kind of are the owners of the classical Yoruba, you know, so they're very, you know, you got, and then you got different peoples, man. And then, you know, there's some people who are more traditional. You'll see the markings on the face, which delineate different groups of people. You know, it's interesting. It's complex. So the answer to your question really is both, depending on the context and what we're talking about. Can I talk about women having healthy relationships with other women, especially considering the challenges today: self-love, competition for men, plastic surgery, body images? Yeah, that's a whole show in itself, sis. That is a whole show in itself. Let me know specifically what you want to know about that, because I think it's extremely important for women to have healthy relationships with other women. Like, one of my favorite things to say is, you know, women that be like, I don't do women. 9 times out of 10, they are trifling. Johnny Solo, we got Togo in the house. Intermarriage. Let me know. Intermarriage between the different peoples. Is that what you're asking, Bobby? Let me clarify so I can know what you're asking. Yeah, I recommend that you have a tribe of women around you. Ain't nobody gonna love on you like women folk do. You also have to kind of make sure that you have to have good discernment. You're right. You know, you got to make sure that the women who you are trying to develop relationships with, you got to make sure they got good character and they have integrity. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to make sure that you have good character and integrity. And, you know, there's a lot of mistrust. But in order to truly maximize the power of those type of relationships, there has to be a level of trust and vulnerability with each other as women, of being able to take criticism without defensiveness, being able to hold other women accountable to foolishness, supporting one another, speaking kindly to one another, not speaking about people behind their back, and being just an unsavory human being about the whole thing. Like, you have to come into situations, like, I'm very intentional about making sure that, you know, I have good people in my life. Is intermarriage okay? It depends. It depends on the family. You know, some families are very hardcore about certain things, you know, but there's also just like, there's also a little level of liberalism that's kind of coming with modern times, you know? So you'll see, and it don't happen often, but I've seen it, you know, you'll see Hausa people marry Yoruba people. You know, you'll see stuff like that. I don't know how often we see Igbo and Yoruba people getting together because they, you know, they be beefing, you know. But I've seen it. I've seen African Americans marry coming in from whole other places. So yeah, there really could be a whole show on that. So who I'm trying to think who all we had. We had France in the house. We had Togo is in the house. China was in the house. He popped in and out real quick. Okovier, my sister. Happy belated birthday to you. We just gonna roll this Pisces season all over for you. Maurice, my brother from a long time. How are you? But yeah, these are great questions. Women gotta have healthy relationships with women. Let me tell you, men folk, if you're interested in a woman, in a woman, watch her relationship with other women. Watch it closer than anything. You know what I'm saying? You know how women always be like, okay, see how a brother treats his mother so you can know how, like, his relationship to women. Yeah. Watch women around other women. You know what I'm saying? And just her behavior and how she rolls. I'll tell you a lot about her. For sure. What do I think about Black people celebrating St. Patrick's Day since you're wearing green? I don't get it. I stay home. This just happened because that was the first thing I got about the dryer. I wasn't even putting two and two together. So I mean, I'm not a fan of it. I don't understand the purpose of it. I got an Irish homeboy who was just like, this shit's stupid, you know? So I'm just like, shit, if the Irish people ain't fucking with it. What is that? Drinking green beer, getting sloppy drunk, and then causing problems. Yeah, it's not, I mean, there's nothing African about that. Why? For what? If you want to have fun and you lighthearted, you know what? I'm on some shit where, you know, I just want people to be great. Hey, do your thing. I tell you what, I'm not gonna be though. And I wish somebody would pinch me, slap shit at you. And I'm a peaceful person. How do I feel about colorism? I had to spend so much time working through the pains of colorism. I had to learn to love myself truly. It's a healing process. That's true. I didn't really have to deal a lot with that because I guess I'm what you would consider to be light skinned. And if you see my grandparents, right? My grandparents are the full spectrum, you know, going from chocolate all the way up to white chocolate as far as like phenotype and what their skin like. They're Black people, but you know, we come all in the spectrum. So just growing up, and then my grandfather, he has like blue eyes. So it's just, I never really saw it as a thing because I never was taught that colorism or darkness or blackness was a bad thing. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, I find that, and going back to the point about Sister Zawadi's point about wanting to talk about relationships between women. That was a huge thing that a lot of women I know have had to deal with. And it doesn't matter what side of the spectrum it was on. Light-skinned girls was catching hell. The dark-skinned girls was catching double hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was shielded from that. I'm really happy and thankful about that. I'm glad I didn't have to deal with those type of issues because they're heavy and it's so much to unpack with just self-worth and how you view yourself, you know? And I'm like, if you're at the point now where you're 30, 40, 50, whatever years old, and you still feel like you're dealing with that, you're going to talk to somebody. Because there's a lot of shit that you got to unpack with that. Probably stuff from childhood, probably things surrounding shame and bullying and just, yeah. Get some help with that because we're beautiful. How women react with other women. Yeah. What are their relationships with women like? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not talking about the girls that they be going to the club all the time with. That's cool too, because I go out with my homegirls. That's cool. I'm talking about when you're home, when the woman that you're interested in, when she's sick, and your homegirl and her homegirl stop by and bring something for her. You know what I'm saying? Those type of homegirls. Or does she do that for other people? You know what I'm saying? Does she love her children? Does she help her out when needed? Do they support each other? Are they cheerleaders for each other? Like genuine cheerleaders for each other? Do they want what's best for each other? Do they hold each other accountable? You know, that's what I mean. Because those type of relationships that I have with women, I don't really have superficial relationships with women. You either my boo for life or I don't fuck with you. Like, there is no in between. Omi Sade, my sister. Always good to see you. Yeah, I was taught that black skin is beautiful and have had to grow to accept that brown is beautiful too. Reverse colorism, I guess. Man, this shit is deep. You know, we laugh about it, but it's really deep. And it kind of goes back to everything that I talked about with colonialism, imperialism, white supremacy. When the brother asked, what do I think is the major issues with Africans and continental Africans? And that's just a bastard child of it. You know what I'm saying? It's just a bastard child of it. Mm-hmm. Great questions. Hashtag AMA Ask Me Anything. TiTi Talks. I'm talking to the people. Talking to the people. Mm-hmm. So, as some of y'all know, I have 3 different things running here. So I'm kind of scanning the periphery here. We got Instagram, I got my personal Facebook page, and then I got my Facebook fan page. So people are kind of popping in and out. But yeah, hashtag AMA Ask Me Anything. If y'all have anything else to ask me, I'm gonna retire for the evening. I'm retired to my chambers. But I'll rock as long as y'all want to rock because I'm having a good time. Make sure y'all hear my new podcast. It is great. Episode 18, my homegirl Gian, hashtag press and fly. We're talking about her new book. It's called Rainbow in the Starlit Sky. And we're talking about life and love and all kinds of things. Mm-hmm. It's dope. You want to check it out. And you hear my new single. It's on the podcast. You can go to TiTiTalks.com and listen to it. You can go to iTunes Podcast. You can go to Google Play Music. You can go to SoundCloud. All that. Yup. Hey, what's up, Alonso? Always good to see you. Where are you online live? I'm not sure what you're asking, Baba Fade. I'm at my house right now. When am I online? I don't have a set time. I'm thinking I may start going live on Tuesdays. I had a goal to go on once a week, but that goal has not worked out because the way my life is set up. But maybe Tuesdays. I may start doing TT Tuesdays where I hop on live Tuesdays. What y'all think? Do you consider white people in your bloodline who've passed to be ancestors? No. Do I call them? Hell no. I do not. But there's some people I know who do for a reason, particularly if it's like one of your parents. You know what I'm saying? Who's passed? Like, I'm not hardcore about it, but for me, the white people in my family who I've been able to trace, it was an indirect relation to the slave trade. You know what I'm saying? And they did really vile things. You know, my great-great-grandfather, his name was Mark Bate. He was he was fathered by the owner, and the owner was actually the governor of Tennessee and fought with the Confederacy. And Mark went out one day and he came back and his wife and children were sold. You know what I mean? So I'm not calling them. I ain't elevating shit. I'm sure not. I got to get an exclusive deal with you. Hey, I need to figure out what that means. Is the return to African movement a genuine one, in your opinion? It absolutely is. It absolutely is. Because I know people who are working it on the inside, and there's just so much beautiful things happening in everything, in business, in repatriating, in real estate, in technology, in everything. It is absolutely a genuine one. My brother Diallo Sumbri, he just got appointed as I want to say the ambassador of tourism of Ghana. He's straight out of Trenton, New Jersey, and DC. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, yeah, but it's just kind of like one of them don't believe me, just watch moments. You know, you just got to watch and participate in it. Ghana is really vamping up this year because it is the I think the 400-year celebration or culmination of the beginning of the slave trade. So they've been doing a lot of stuff and having a lot of events that is very welcoming to Africans in America. They're talking a lot about certain countries providing dual citizenship. I know a lot of people who have repatriated or are living back and forth. So I would say, yeah, it is. I like to subscribe so I know when you're online. Bye-bye. You can subscribe. If you have iPhone, you can just go to podcasts and just go to TiTi Talks. And you can subscribe there so that my recordings go there. I'm trying to figure out the right day where I'm going to go live consistently. I'm thinking maybe Tuesday nights at 9. So we'll see. You know what I'm saying? We in there, Ghana 2019. I wanted to go so bad a couple weeks ago with the Adinkra group, but I wasn't able to go. But I'm thinking I may go like New Year's at the end of the year. Luceti says, what do you have to say about women, men moving out of religion and are new to awakeness? Some of us feel lost. I myself do a lot of alone time, meditating, praying to and for my ancestors. This has been the best time in my life. I'm in full support of anybody who is evolving, no matter how that looks. Some people I know are evolving into religion. I'm cool with that. If that makes you a good person and, you know, helps you with your moral compass and brings you joy, who am I? Who am I? I don't discourage anybody from anything. But I do encourage people to use their intuition a lot more. And you know, your spiritual self. Instagram, y'all about to cut off in like 2 minutes. So I'll revamp and put it back on. They only give you an hour on Instagram for each live video. Uncle Kenny, hey. My uncle on here, y'all. Y'all say how y'all say what's up to my uncle. So yeah, like everybody feels lost when you're transitioning from one thing to the next. It don't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's a spiritual thing. It doesn't matter if you're moving from one relationship to the next, one job to the next. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? You're going to feel lost. Thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye, Fadi. The best time in your life, that's what's up. That's how you know that you're... Can Abrahamic religions, as they are currently practiced, really free Black people? It depends on what your values are. Because freedom is not equal across the board to people. What one person may think freedom is, another person may not think that. You know what I mean? I know that if you're coming from like a Pan-African perspective, probably not so much. But not every Black person is coming from a Pan-African perspective. And so what may be freedom to us, you know, from the Pan-African perspective, freedom to us looks like, you know, sovereignty, free movement, between here and the continent, not being profiled for, blah, 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 blah. We have certain things, that we would consider to be free. And that may not be it for everybody. So Pan-Africans? Probably not. Probably not. Hold on. Let me get my live situation on Instagram back together. Y'all can ask me a question in the interim. That was a great question. Yeah, so that's my thoughts on it. Because we got Harriet Tubman was a devout Christian, and she was more free than a lot of people I see walking around with their beads on. But I don't know if people ready to really speak on that. People may not be ready to speak on that. So, who am I to say? Who am I to say? Who am I to say? I'm real careful with that because, we're standing on the shoulders of Christians and Muslims, mainly, at least a few generations back. Seriously. Who I don't know a black person, no matter what your religion was, who has not been influenced by Malcolm X, right? Who practiced Islam. Muhammad Ali, who practiced Islam, our Harriet Tubmans and our Martin Luther Kings, who were devout Christians, and they lived with purpose, and had a sense of themselves and direction, and were able to speak with a courage and a clarity that, people who shun the religions don't have all the time, So I'm real careful about, and I'm also clear about being about, the problematic. Hey, Keandra, how you doing, sis? My here, what's up? So yeah, I'm real careful on how I speak about ancestors. You know what I'm saying? And things that we've had to do to be able to just survive. And I tell you what, I throw that Mahelion in a minute. I throw Mahelion on that Gungun day, like for real. You think I'm playing? Any more questions? Hashtag AMA, ask me anything. Keandra, I know you got a question. You always got a good question for me. I got a new podcast out, y'all, episode 18. Y'all got to check it out. And my new single's on there. It's dope. With Amina Love, at Amina Love, at AMYNA Love. Y'all got to hear it. It's dope. You just wait till I drop that. Did y'all see my promo video? Let me know in the comments if you saw the promo video. If you have not seen my promo video, shame on you. For shame. It is fantastic. I directed and produced it. Young sister Logan Lynette filmed it for me. It's crazy how things come full circle. Several years ago, she was one of my rites of passage youth, and now she's a college student up at Georgia State in film and photography school, and she's doing a thing. So she was able to come through for TiTi. I'm in DC, went to the Black History Museum. That's what's up. I'll be in DC in a few weeks, and I still have not made it to the Black History Museum. I have to go. For sure. It was lit. Y'all got any more questions? What time is it? It's 10:21. I think if y'all ain't got no more questions, I'll probably rock till about 10:25. If y'all got questions, I'll roll as long as y'all gonna roll, because y'all asking some good questions. And it's always good to connect with y'all. And I say I'm gonna be on live again in another week, but I'll be trifling. So y'all may not see me on the live for another 3 months. So I want to make sure I get all these questions in. You know what I mean? I do need to go, Keandra. I do need to go. I think I'll be in DC and I'll kind of be on a time crunch. So I don't think I'm going to have time to do it next time I'm in DC. But me and my homegirl are planning a trip this summer to DC, and we're just going to be chilling and kicking it and going to the go-go and eating up all the food in the city. So, but it was so pretty at the same time. Love the rawness. Okay. And it was so pretty at the same time. That's what's up. I've been hearing a lot of that. It should be aesthetically pleasing. And spiritually stirring. I believe that. I believe it. But I definitely want to go. I think the whole needing tickets ahead of time kind of prevents me from getting it together, just because I move kind of spontaneously when I'm in DC. Like usually I'm there kind of last minute, and then when I get there, I'm like moving. I love how simple it showed the connection, you know. Yeah. It's 10:23. Y'all got 2 minutes to ask me something, or else I'm finna be in the bed asleep. Cause I'm tired. I just left the gym, and you know how you feel when you leave the gym. I feel like a wet rag, yo. I was at the gym for almost 3 hours. I don't know what the hell I was doing. I just had the music on and was in my happy place, girl. It was awesome, the AMA with you. Love you, TiTi. Thank you, Lucady. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, TP. What's up? That's my play cousin, TP. My uncle said, what do I think about CBD? I invest in pot stocks and wonder if it's the new super drug. You know, I have a couple thoughts about CBD. I think CBD is very useful, but there's a couple of studies that have been coming out in regards to CBD. That I did a long ride, Tiffany, on the bike. I think I did like 10, 15 miles, and that's what took so long. So yeah, I lifted weights and then did that. CBD, is it the new super drug? It could be, but it has to be better regulated, because what a lot of the studies are finding is that the CBD, whatever concentration or whatever that they're saying it is, it's not, because there's not a lot of regulation on it. There's a lot of pesticides, and there's a lot of toxins that kind of get into the CBD, just because it's not as regulated. And so I think what needs to happen is they need to tighten up the regulation on it, so you're not getting a whole bunch of weird stuff in it. I think pot stocks are interesting. I hold a little ACB though. Don't sleep. It's just interesting to study and follow the market and see what it shows you. But I think the whole marijuana industry is going to be a little bit volatile for a while. I think a lot of people are going to make a lot of money. I think a lot of people are going to lose a lot of money too. I think a lot of people are going to get sick because the demand keeps revving up and the quality is going to go down. So people are going to really have to seek out the quality companies, and the quality companies are going to have to deliver, and they're going to have to deliver. Odabo, sister. Thank you. Yeah. It was like 2 hours, 37 minutes. It was ridiculous. I appreciate you coming on. Comedian Lance, what's up? Was it Eshu Lokan? Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that the locks I see coming back in effect? This is a break from the braids, but I am going to lock it back up. I am. Probably when I come back from Carnival in August, I'll probably start locking it back up again. But yeah, I just needed a little break. Got my little twisted twist, chilling. Uh-oh, it's 10:26. Y'all ain't got no question. Y'all better say something. Y'all better ask me something, or else I'm gonna shut this whole thing down. I appreciate the if it is time to shut it down, I appreciate y'all participation. Thank you so much for the questions, the comments. Y'all were beautiful and live as usual. Make sure you go to TiTiTalks.com. Make sure you purchase some pins for the wins. I should have had one on, but I was in a hurry. But yeah, go on TiTiTalks.com. And you can hear my podcast on Apple iTunes podcast. You can hear it on Google Play Music. You can hear it on SoundCloud. You can hear it on TiTiTalks.com. I even got a couple episodes up on YouTube and some other video and shenanigans. And my promo video is on YouTube too. Y'all should check that out. My promo video was hot. What's good, sis? Everything is good. Everything is good, brother. Got a lot going on. Running the show. Got some musical projects going on. Making beats. Working at my for real job. All of that. Uh-oh, somebody just popped on. Aboye, Awo. How are you? So yeah, I appreciate everybody's engagement. Y'all ain't got no questions. When am I coming to Dallas? You know what? That's a great question. You want to know what's funny, Uncle Kenny? I'm going to be in Dallas for like 2 hours because I have a layover because I'm flying to California. Not this coming weekend, but the last weekend in March. I'm flying to Cali and I have a short layover at DFW. And when I got the ticket, I looked at it. I was like, dang, if my layover was a little bit longer, I could have called Unc and connected with him for a little while. But I need to come and like kick it in Dallas for real. I need to come to Texas. I like Texas. I've been to Houston a few times. Agboato, Ashode Wodewofun. That's I will. But yeah, I will always appreciate your O'Shea 5 videos. O'Shea 5 videos are always wonderful. But yeah, y'all have a beautiful evening. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Make sure you go to TiTiTalks.com. Support the sister. Help a sister out because I'm trying to do some big things to keep everybody informed and to keep everybody, loving each other because, we got to love each other's. All right. So I know I'm doing the most, but I didn't come here to do the least. Let me know we can have lunch. I will. Y'all have a beautiful evening. Thanks for rocking with me. Peace.